It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Sure it is. Blinky Flashy Lowdown with our professional sequence purchaser, Brian McVay.
All right, welcome back. This is Brian with Blinky Flashy Lowdown, and I have Michael and Diana Stoffergen from Showstopper Sequences. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I am doing absolutely awesome. I've only made my kids cry once doing homeschooling. It was terrible. I did. I shouldn't say it like that. My son, he was working on the median number, and he was trying to do them in his head. And I'm like, dude, just write them down. I can do this. And he missed like 3 of them on there. And that just irks me when that happens. And I'm like, just write them down.
Yeah.
He's a Taurus, just like his father. So, yeah, he's very hard-headed.
Not stubborn at all.
No.
Yeah. I love that post that I saw on Facebook. Homeschooling's going really well. Only 2 kids have been suspended for fighting, and 1 teacher fired for drinking on the job.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I know I shared this in a PM with you, but my daughter had to get Zoom for communicating with the teacher and stuff. So, well, if my daughter had it, my son had to have it on his laptop. So, yes, they're spoiled. I'm sorry. So I put it on his laptop. So then it was, well, Daddy, we want to be like your lighting friends. So they took their laptops. Schoolwork was done. They took their laptops to their bedrooms, and they told me to come in here. My son set up the Zoom room, password and everything. I was very impressed. He's 7, almost 8. And awesome. Set it up. He shot me the password. And so we're in separate rooms in the house, Zooming.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was quite fun. And then but then
we had a teenage daughter, and if we didn't text, we didn't talk to her. I mean, so that was the only way she would communicate. We'd call her, wouldn't do any good at all. I just got to text her, and she'd respond right away.
You've been upstairs in her room. I'm like, hey, Savannah, come down, dinner. What's for dinner? She texts me like,
get your ass down here.
Once again, the Professional Triers Holiday Lighting Show has raised the bar, teaming up with another awesome sponsor, Zazzle, to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear, including the Hot or Not shot glass, the Blinky Flashy Lowdown notebook, the Professional Triers Blinky Gear beer stein, the ever-so-popular David Peace Not a Vendor t-shirt, the must-have Robert Petty Make Rob Great Again t-shirt, the one-of-a-kind Jordan Nash
Do you like my decorations?
t-shirt, and of course the must-have Professional Triers Blinky t-shirt, and much, much more. You can even create your own one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear. So go to trierswag.com, that's TRIERSSWAG.com, and get your Professional Triers gear today.
So I know I asked you guys before Trans World if I could interview you down there and talk about your new layout and stuff. So this is our away from Trans World interview. How's that?
Yeah, that's great.
So
we're here in Missouri. I don't know where everybody else is. We're not in St. Louis, but we're in Missouri.
Oh yeah, we're trying to stay safe up here in Montana though. We do have 3 cases finally right in town. We got 30 throughout the entire state, but we do have 3 in town now. So yeah,
Missouri's kind of reaching that exponential point where it's starting to get more and more as they start testing. They start popping up. We've got right now, of course, it's just a staff shot, 10 confirmed in Greene County, which is just north of us, 1 in the county we live in.
Mhm.
But, with the minimal testing, we're talking, I figured we're at least 10, 20 times that, if that's where they are on the testing. Because they're just not testing everybody yet. And,
Then they had one down at Fort Leonard Woods where I work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just announced that today.
Diana, maybe move to your right a little bit, because it's cutting you out every time you talk. So it was kind of muffled and stuff. So it might just be the direction of the microphone. You guys snuggle up. Y'all look so cute. So yeah,
Is that better?
Oh, go ahead.
Is that better?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you're great now. No, yeah, I'll get it.
Well,
I'll
we
get
just shot our social distancing. Now we're gonna spray each other down with Lysol when this whole thing's over.
Hey,
What do you
whatever you
mean?
gonna do in the privacy of your own home. I
Kidding.
Right.
mean, whatever floats your boat. Shoot.
I told you, it's our time to shine.
And
The rest of the world just caught up with us.
yeah, it does really kind of make you think now that, well, it did for me, now that, oh no, we do have it now in Great Falls or Cascade County. Now it kind of, oh shit, it is here. So it kind of opened our eyes up a little bit and stuff. And but it is what it is. We'll get over it. We'll get through it. And, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you how paranoid we are, Brian. When we went grocery shopping, we brought everything in and then wiped down all the packages because you don't know who's handled it.
Oh
And everything's
yeah.
pretty picked over, and we do know that it'll last on a surface for a period of time.
Yeah. 3 days.
Plus,
I
then we
think.
go out, and wipe down the steering wheel and the gear shift knob, everything we touched in the car, because we didn't wash our hands after we left the store. So I mean, is it hyper paranoid? Probably.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you never know.
You never know. I mean, you got to look out for that. I didn't think about wiping everything down. I handed it off to the kids. They carried it in, and then we started putting it away. So, shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know, right?
Well, right now when there's a low risk of the, when you don't have a lot of cases, it's probably not much of an issue. But as you get more and more cases, just probably not a bad idea. Not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is touching my face. I mean, it's like I'm constantly touching my face.
That's one thing Diana's learned about this is she friggin' loves to touch her face.
I really, I'm going through menopause, and it's like I'm like sweating. So I'm touching my face. It's so weird. I was at Walmart, and Michael sends me a text message. He says, "Diana, stop touching your face." And I laughed out loud. So
Did you go like this?
Looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And I said to my girlfriend, I said, I totally just touched my face right before he got this text message.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he knows me really well.
She's bad about that.
Oh,
I can control it, but it's crazy. As soon as you start thinking, I can't touch my face, your nose starts itching or your lip.
Yeah.
It just drives you nuts.
Yeah.
Funny. Anyway, I had to share that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. Well,
Oh my
hey,
gosh. Okay.
the reason I wanted to have you guys on down there in St. Louis was because you have a brand new layout that you're putting out. Now you still do your same
Right.
not don't help me. You
Little
still
house.
do Hobbit comes to mind. God dang it. You
I know
still
you
do
want to call it the Hobbit House. That's okay.
God dang
Diana has
it.
big feet.
No.
Whoville.
Whoville. God, why can I never remember that? So you still do your Whoville house on your house, but now
Yes.
your layout has changed to a more, I'm going to say, traditional layout.
That's kind of how we identify it too, as traditional. And believe it or not, this came about because of the professional triers. We were doing the X-Lights rundown, and I always kind of read the comments on shows and things like that. And some of the comments that came through were people like, I like their stuff, but I wish they had more elements that I had.
Mhm.
And so what I tried to do was redesign our layout to include a lot more of those traditional things that people have, horizontals and verticals, because we don't have any straight lines on our house, really.
Right.
It's all curvy. And make it a little easier for people, a little less intimidating. And as a result, of course, broaden our market. But at the same time, for the folks who do like our stuff, it gives them more things to map to their stuff.
Right.
And,
right.
It's kind of crazy because I didn't realize it till after I got done. But with submodels and everything, I've gone from, what was around 105 models to sequence to now it's over 220.
Mm-hmm.
So literally I've doubled my work by doing this in terms of the sequencing work.
Yeah.
But I think it's a much better product for people. Makes it a little easier to map.
Yeah.
People can look at it and say, yeah, I can see my house doing that because I've got this element.
Absolutely.
Makes it easier for people to visualize. And so it was a big change for us. So, not only do I have more stuff to sequence, but now I've got to take it and then map it back to my house so we have a show.
Yeah.
Because I used to just sequence our house for our show and then, prep it and put it on our website. Now it's completely reversed. Now I do the traditional and then map it back to our house because there's fewer elements. So it's easier to go the other way.
What if you have the group
downside
set up?
Is, coming in, I had 67.
I'm
I'm
say
going
that
to show
one
you
more
some
time.
things on that that's really pretty cool, Brian. I'm going to show you some things on our the way we've got our group set up that's going to make it a whole lot easier for people
Sweet.
to map our sequences.
Oh, that's super awesome.
I was talking, I did something really unusual. After I came out with my first sequence, I sent it out to over 20 people, it turned out being, and asked them for feedback on how do I make this better? How do I make this easier to map? And so I've been doing kind of a little focus group in the background. That's why I haven't got it up on our site yet. It's because I've just been taking the information that people gave me and incorporating it in the way we do things so that it's better. That's ultimately the goal. And what's really cool about this is it's kind of driven by the people who are going to use the product, that use our sequences. In other words, I didn't try to imagine what they do when they open it up and map it. They opened it up, mapped it, and then told me, well, here's the issues I had. Here's some suggestions, some ideas. Some things that might help it and make it better.
Which is good.
And so I've incorporated that, and it's really, really kind of changed the way that we do everything. Let me show you something here. Let me share my screen, and let me find the right one.
So everybody listen to this on a podcast. You're going to have to go to YouTube so you can see what Michael's going to show us. I'll try to describe it for him as much as I can. So, because we do have quite a few listeners that do the podcast. So
let me get over here and one arm looking.
Oh yeah, because this is just.
Here's the screen I want to share. I don't have to see this all.
There you go.
But to kind of give you an overview, what I did was Kendall Walker made the suggestion, you've got all these models and submodels listed there. And man, it's really intimidating when you open up the import screen to see all these different models. And it takes a little while to get your head around what you're doing and what you have going on. So what I did was I came up with the idea of numbering my models and then naming them.
Okay.
For example, everything that's level 1 that deals with the whole display is denominated 0, 1. Well, when you go to the import screen and you go to import things, well, guess what? It shows up as 0, 1. It shows up at the top. Now, the level 2, so the level 1 is everything that's whole display, all arches, all mini trees, all snowflakes, all stars. And I try as much as I can to sequence at that level when I'm creating the sequence.
I gotcha.
So even somebody who has a really simple display, all they've got to do is go in and map what they have in level 1, and then glance through levels 2 and 3 and see what's there. For example, level 2 is kind of my model groups. Think of these as kind of subgroups of the big models. Like,
Okay.
I've got all snowflakes at level 1, but at level 2, I've got snowflakes on the garage, snowflakes on the roof, snowflakes in the yard. Okay, so those are submodels of the whole display models. And then at level 3, I've got individual models. The level 3 models are things like your mega trees. I've got a G Rosa wreath. I included a PPD wreath in there. Tune to sign, matrix. Those are all the individual models that are at level 3. So when somebody is mapping, all they've got to do is go in, do what they've got in level 1, pick and choose from level 2 and 3, and they're done.
No kidding.
And the nice thing about also level 2 and the model groups, we have it listed in left yard and right yard. So they're divided up.
So they know. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got that. And to kind of give you, let me see if I can stop sharing this. And again, this is one that you'll see if I can share the right screen. I'm going to share this one. I want to show you what I'm talking about, Brian, when we do this. Okay, you'll notice over here on the right-hand side,
Which is?
those are the ones that people will be importing, is the
Right.
ones on the right-hand side.
Yep.
Which is like tell them what's there because this is audio.
And you're right. And so you'll see, thank you, Diana.
Well.
Thank you. It starts out, this is her job. You know that, right? She's my troubleshooter. She just sits there and tells me, you're doing that wrong.
Well, it's just,
You're not doing that wrong.
just like here on the left, right.
Looking over your shoulder and pointing.
Yeah, you're not doing that right. But one of the things I know I don't know if you can see on your screen, Brian, but you'll notice that everything that is a full group is capitalized.
All
Okay.
candy canes. All
Yep,
ice
I see them.
Okay. Now, if it's a sub of that group, you'll notice that it's got the number and it's a sub. It says sub, so you know. And then it's kind of spaced off to the right, and it's upper and lowercase.
It kind of breaks. Yeah, it kind of breaks it up a little bit for you.
Exactly.
It breaks it up, so you've got all these things here, all these subgroups. But really, if you just focus in on the ones that are all caps, going to make your life a whole lot easier when it comes to mapping.
Absolutely.
Oh, heck yeah.
And you'll see what I'm saying there is it just keeps it in a nice, neat order. And if I add something to it, I just add it to the end of the numbering, and can just modify it that way. So if you got a simple house, you just go through 1, and then you pick and choose from 2, and then from 3. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I've done. I call it next level mapping because all you do is start with level 1, then go to level 2, and then level 3, and then you're done. And the other thing that it does with me is it forces me to sequence a certain way. I try to push everything up to the top as much as I can so that people are mapping groups. And that makes it a whole lot easier when they map groups. Now, there's some times where you've just got to use individual models. And, anyway, so that's kind of where we're at, what we did. So that was based on feedback. And again, the idea of the numbering came from Kendall Walker, one of the people that participated in our little focus group. And
That was great. Thank you.
yeah, it was really awesome. I want to give him props for pointing out that's a good way to keep things organized, because otherwise they come in alphabetical.
Right. Yep.
And sometimes the prop name really doesn't work alphabetically the way you'd like for it to. So So numbering it gives you complete control over how they appear on the right-hand side when people
Right.
import.
And everybody that's downloading your sequences, and I learned this from Clyde, actually. I had no idea my first year that you're supposed to, when you download the sequence and stuff, and then you put it in a folder and you map it, or you actually open it under your mapping and then render it, save it. Well, when they have that open under your layout, then that's when they can do their names, they can do their numbering system, the groups, because I saw you had a lot of submodels for the Living Light show, for the poinsettia, for the which other ones I saw, I think the Rosary, for the submodels for there, they can match those submodels while they do it, and that's the reason why I added is the geek in me. That's the reason why I added 2 more monitors, because I can have your guys' display up on one screen, my display up on another, and actually go model by model for what you have for submodels and then what I have. And then I do the same thing for PPD, for Richard Wren, for all the ones I get them from, and so, and my list is very long because I have PPD's groupings, I'll have your groupings, Richard Wren's groupings, because everybody does it different, which is cool because it gives it more variety. You could take the same song and have it done by 5 or 6 different sequencers, and you're going to get something totally different each time. And one is no better than the other, one is no worse than the other. So, and that's what I like about it.
Tom Bedgeorge did a comparison of Terry Gavo.
About
a year ago or so, and that was awesome. I thought it was really cool because it showed all the different styles, and and each one was unique, each one was different, each one was good in its own way, and it really, I think that was really a cool thing to do, because there's so many songs out there, you don't always have a lot of overlap like that. Of course, everybody loves Trans-Siberian Orchestra, so quite a bit of overlap.
Yeah. So
the other thing we do is we give people a mapping worksheet that like you said, you can actually look at the mapping worksheet and put in your display elements on it and use that mapping worksheet. But the nice thing now is because we use numbers, everything matches up numerically. In other words, it's all in the same order. In other words, the order that it's on that mapping worksheet is the same order that it appears on your import screen, and that makes it so much easier. You don't have to hunt and peck and look around.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about something, and then I lost it because you froze up just for a second when it was doing, so I lost my train of thought. What the heck was I going to bring up? Because I did see the poinsettia in there. I saw the new Gilbert props and stuff, the new Boscoyo props. Are you going to continue to add or swap out those new props as they come out, as they're being released from the vendors?
If one strikes my fancy, I will. I hate to say it, but a little bit of this is making me happy too. But if I see something that looks cool, I'll add it. For example, when I first sent out the sample for people to look at, I had 3 little spiral trees, and then they came out with the poinsettia wreath. And I thought, well, this is just too cool. There's too many things I can do with this. So I got rid of one of the little spiral trees and added in the poinsettia wreath. And I'll absolutely do that. One of the other people said, what you don't have anything 3D, add a globe in. And so I traded out a Bethlehem star for a globe over one of the trees. So now I've got a little 3D prop in there because I think we're going to see more 3D. We're going to see more high density props. I've got piece stakes in the layout now because there's a lot of people who use those and like those. And, really neat stuff in there that like I said, the nice thing is I don't have to buy it and build it. so I can add anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just a couple mouse clicks and hey, you got it.
I've got that 10,000 pixel Eiffel Tower in the backyard. I did not have to buy it or build it.
Oh shoot. Yeah. Yeah, I've been
So that is nice,
Yeah, yeah.
literally is virtual. It's kind of funny. People have said, "Oh man, I'm going to miss the the Hobbit house." So,
Thank you, Bill.
It's the Whoville house, not the Hobbit house.
okay, Whoville. All right, so they're going to miss the Whoville house, but we'll still do that. And if they buy a sequence and they still want that one, yeah, I'll give it to them. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Another
Now,
thing that's going on, like I said, I've got 67 sequences.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I'll do is it's going to be a rollout through September. If people have kept their download emails
mhm.
from where they've downloaded, that download email is good for like 7 years. And so I'll name it the same. So if they want to go in and download the revised sequence, they can do that without any additional cost.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, so that's just a thank you for people who
Support us.
support us. Yeah.
So
Oh heck yeah. Yeah. I need to be one of those people. I'm so sorry. Last year I had every intention and then all of a sudden it was totally go time. And I'm just like, oh my God, there were so many sequences I wanted to get and I never got. And so I do apologize for that. It was last year was about a mess for me. So I was lucky I even had a show.
Didn't you get Santa's back in town?
I have it. I can't find it. I got to look for it. But yeah.
Yeah,
because that
find
was
your download sequence and go back and re-download it.
Yeah, I got to definitely do that because I want to get into that because I'm expanding more. I'm pushing further out into my yard because I have 250 stinking feet from my front of my garage to the dirt road. So I'm pushing stuff out, and I've been working. I finally went to a 3D layout this year because I need it. Because now my big ass arrow is now going to be on the garage on the back to, for people to see a half a mile away as they come in from the dirt road.
Awesome.
So,
That's
but
great. That's so good.
yeah, I've been working on that for the last 3-4 weeks, maybe. I don't know. Probably too long if you ask my wife.
Well, that sequence, 3D is really cool. And there's some people I've seen their displays. You could not figure out what's going on if they didn't have 3D.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just so deeply layered and things like that. So, it is a blessing. For us, we've been lucky. Our yard is so small. We're the exact opposite of yours. Yeah. The width of our, we're in a cul-de-sac, so it's pie shaped.
Oh yeah.
At the curb, our property is 52 feet at the front, and it goes back to 175 feet in the back.
Oh wow.
We could have a great display if people could, drive up from the back, but I don't think the other neighbors would like that. They've got a soccer field behind us that they did for their grandkids. Yeah.
We could put your lot in my front yard. One of the pains of moving out here though, but now something that I did see that and I thought this was just super cool. So super high kudos for this. You're going back to your sequences that you did do in the Whoville house and redoing those to this new layout. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is just,
absolutely.
I thought that was just the coolest thing in the world. So super high kudos for that. That was very awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, if you've already bought it, you can download the new version. It'll be substantially the same. It's just going to have more elements. As I add in the PPD wreath or the Living Light Show snowflakes, the GE starburst. As I add those back in, those will be additional things that people have. Another thing that with these high density props, there's a lot of submodels that have come in.
Yes.
So what I've started to do on my download is I've taken every model where I have added submodels and I've exported it to a subdirectory that people can, when they get the zip file, there's a subdirectory that has my models in there. So if there's a submodel they want to use that they don't have, they can import it from that directory. And,
Sweet.
so just to make it easier for them,
Mm-hmm.
they can go to the model. Because like one of the things that I did, probably one of the most common props is the Boscoyo 24-inch snowflake.
Yes.
All right. They've got, the two-prong fancy, three-prong fancy, star shape, heart shape, there's hexagon. They've got different variations of that 24-inch.
Yeah.
Well, if you download the basic model, you can do it in Xlights, you import it. So I was looking at how do I submodel this to give me something else to sequence to. Well, I came up with 3 basic submodels that you can put on any one of them. One is the inner star or inner circle, depending upon the shape of the prop itself. There's that.
Right.
Then there are the individual arms. You can submodel the individual arms all the way around. And you can also submodel the tips of the arms.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's a very basic model, where it's real easy to put a pinwheel on there, a fan, and you get something really cool. You can group them together and put some sort of butterfly effect on it or plasma and get some really neat things. But when you add in the submodels, now you can have something simple like a butterfly on it, but the tips are flashing to the beat.
It's really cool. It's a neat effect. And it's
No kidding.
other options, more options.
Oh,
It gives you
yeah.
more options. And all of a sudden that simple prop that you had,
Come into
you've got a whole nother layer, a whole nother thing that you can do with it.
amazing.
That you couldn't do before. And it's really
Yeah.
just, looking at it, how do I figure out what can I do with this to make it different? Another thing that I've done is I've taken like the standard Boscoyo, they're 99 pixel candy canes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I submodeled onto those a candlestick on the bottom and a flame on the top.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's
Real
neat. I just
simple
ordered a
to
bunch of those too.
Yeah, and I did.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
all right. So
Vinny had mentioned that as well.
yeah, Vinny had mentioned that, oh yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
That is
That's
so
a real
awesome.
simple way to take a prop and expand it.
Yeah.
Now you have not only candy canes, but you've also got candlesticks.
Pretty cool.
Put a flame
Yeah.
on the top, put a pattern or something on the candlestick, and it'll look really cool. It'll look
Oh
great.
my gosh, that is so cool. Yeah, and I do apologize. I've had you guys, Vinny's podcast on my phone at me all week, and I haven't even sat down to watch it for 30 minutes yet, or however long it is. So I haven't seen that
It's
one
really-
Well, I
yet.
know you've been out foraging for food,
No doubt.
like everybody else, foraging for food and toilet paper.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shoot.
was talking with my sister. I said, it just shows you how people react. If they ever announce that we've made contact with aliens, I know what people are going to do. They're going to go out and buy toilet paper.
There was a post, and I shared it in a Facebook group that I'm in, or a private group messaging group that I'm in, and it was the next thing to come out is going to be a diarrhea outbreak, so everybody's going to go buy nasal spray.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, of course. It's a flu-like symptoms, so let's buy toilet paper.
Yeah. Not that kind of flu, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, are you going? And I haven't looked at a whole lot of your sequences and stuff up there, but are you going to get into singing faces?
Here's what I would do. I don't have any singing faces on mine, and here's why. When you have a singing face, everybody looks at the face.
Oh yeah, it takes away
They
from the.
do. That they'll ignore everything. So I don't have any singing faces, but after I get through with my conversion, one of the things I'm going to do is just make lyric tracks available for people. For the song.
Okay.
On the side.
I'll go back in and just make lyric tracks available. And so, I'm pretty quick at that. Believe it or not, I can do a single lyric track in probably 2 hours on a song.
Oh wow.
And I've got a technique that works pretty well. And really, there's 3 layers with each lyric track. On the first layer, what you're doing is you're placing phrases.
Okay.
On the second layer, you're placing words. And on the third layer, you're placing consonants because the vowels fill in. When somebody's singing, except for the crooners, like the Dean Martin, Bing Crosby, typically a singer will, when they sing something, they're hitting the vowel sound, not the consonant sound. So if you get the consonants placed right, then the vowels are placed properly in between.
You lost me on the first layer.
You were following along so intently there for a minute or two.
I'm out.
Little white flag.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to picture it, but I'm not at that level. If it's already on there, then super awesome. I'll make sure my EEIOs and U's are good. And
yeah, I'm with you, Brian.
And believe it or not, that's all it is you line up the word, you line up the phrases, you line up the words, you line up the consonants, and you're done. You'd be surprised how well it works.
Just like that.
Just like that. I don't tell you.
Boom.
Bada, bada, boom, bang.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no. No. People need that this year, honey. Chop, chop.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
Singing faces.
Oh.
Singing faces
People need that.
If there's an issue in the Ozarks, I had nothing to do with it.
That's awesome.
I can see on the headlines, husband and wife dispute over singing faces caused by podcast.
Well, to cut down on that, we watch The Shining with Jack Nicholson every weekend.
Sweet. See, a family all by themselves can get along just fine.
Awesome.
Exactly. My favorite little meme is that one picture of Jack Nicholson towards the end where he's out in the garden and he's frozen to death, and in the background there comes the snowman from Frozen 2.
I haven't seen that one yet.
You gotta show me this.
It is hilarious.
I gotta see it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna look for that.
You gotta see it. And he gives the camera a look like.
That's awesome.
Here comes Olu.
It's exactly like that. You got to look up that meme. It is the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh. I am
yeah.
definitely gonna look for that.
Some of the minds out there, some of the things people come up with, it just cracks me up.
Oh yeah. They can put anything together.
Yeah.
Okay, so $1 million question. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
There's one thing I was going to talk about, and I don't know if you saw this, but for those that did see it, it's really kind of cool. 2 years ago, I put out a song by Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. You Make It Feel Like Christmas. Real upbeat, kind of a modern Christmas love song. Well, Chris Foster, took that one step further. What he did was he had his kids record animojis.
Awesome.
And one of them looked like Gwen Stefani, and the other one looks like Blake Shelton. And I've worked out a deal with Chris where he's going to put those available on our website.
Yes, post offers.
And so people could go out and buy them individually and add them to the sequence. And so I'm really excited.
It's really cool, Brian. You're gonna love it. Everybody's gonna love it.
It's so funny. Chris said his son, when he was doing it, quit 3 times.
Really?
He said his son would walk off.
Yeah.
I said, well, it's obvious he's going to be a good boss. Maybe not a good employee, but a really good boss.
I just think that was so creative, and it's going to give it another.
Yes, and so I'm really excited about being able to offer that to everybody. And Chris said he'd look at some other things that he might have his kids do. I don't want to call them foster kids. I've got to learn their names.
Yeah, we do have to learn their names.
They're Chris Foster's children. Let's put it that way.
They're incredible. It's a great family.
Yeah, they really did a good job.
So that's awesome.
That was one thing I wanted to share with you. That's going to be coming up. That's really cool.
Oh, definitely keep a lookout for that. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, $1 million question. With everything that you're doing and redoing the sequences to the new display and anything, you guys have like the best prices for your sequences on the market, bar none. Is there going to be any change to that? I try to keep it down. I'd like to follow the Walmart model where I do volume instead of, because that just means the joy is being spread a little more.
Exactly.
Instead of, the people who have deep pockets can buy it. So, you might see them creep up maybe $5, but I don't want to, I don't see any sequence going above $50.
No.
Oh, wow. Very awesome.
No.
So, it'll have to go up a little bit because it takes really a long time for me to sequence this stuff now compared to, just my Whoville. Part of it is I had to learn the new layout and what the parts, what they can do. I'm picking up a little bit of speed, but
you learn fast.
Yeah, but it's not unusual right now for a sequence to take 40, 50 hours, whereas before maybe it was taking 30.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I just hit auto map and boom, I'm done.
Nice.
Or no, auto effects. Is it auto effects?
Auto effects? Oh, auto map works too. Yeah,
you want to talk about it? I tried that when my first year, because my super small display that I had my first year and stuff, and was watching Jeff with Candace Bader Christmas, and to get you started, just put your timing marks in, and then you can do just highlight it all, right click, and do auto effects and see what it throws in there, and then adjust those effects to what you want according to your timing marks. And yeah. It was a hot mess. It was like, I need to find someplace where I can get these already done. So here we are.
Hey, let me tell you a real cool trick, Brian, that you'll like this. Okay. In the sequence tab, when you're sequencing across the top, there's your waveform, right? And if you will right click on the waveform and then select base waveform. And what it will do is every drum beat will then just pop out at you. So,
really?
Yes. So if you are doing something that has a heavy drum beat and it's muddled in with other stuff, and it makes it a lot easier to go in and manually put in those.
No kidding.
So it is just amazing. Of course, when you play it back, it's muffled because you're just getting the low end on the music. So you've got to switch back to the raw waveform,
right?
When you're listening to it. But man, if you've got an EDM, electronic dance music Christmas version, man, you can pop that in there. Every drum beat will stick out that high. You just got to go in, click, click, click.
It's awesome.
You don't even have to listen to the music.
It's pretty cool.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds that
And so
sounds
you-
awesome.
Yeah, because there's sometimes you've got those timing marks that just do not follow the beat.
Yeah.
You know, I just finished Like It's Christmas by the Jonas Brothers, and literally there were 3 different beats going on at the same time. You know, they had bass guitar, they had drums, and then they had either cymbals or snaps, finger snaps. You
Yeah,
know,
the snaps were cool. Yeah.
and so you could set your timings to either any one of those.
Yeah.
And I added triple arches to the new display. So I go in
It's
there,
really cool.
and each arch I could set to a different beat,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked all together. That's
Yeah.
what's really weird. Is
And
it
it
Wow.
works
was
together
so
just
cool.
like the
Just
song.
kind of going it, and it's you got to sing the song. You got to hear it.
Yeah, but if you just had the beats, you'd miss out on a lot.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
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 See, and that's my
Step in the back.
biggest pet peeve when I'm watching a sequence, because you're expecting something, you're watching it, and you're like, did they miss something? You know, it was a missed opportunity. Is like, something
Yeah, exactly.
in
Missed
there,
opportunity.
and I'll see it. And when I'm doing my mapping over to my show and stuff, and I'm rewatching it and stuff, I'm just like, I missed something, and I'll go back in and remap it because I just cannot stand it. It looks like a missed opportunity, and I don't like that. So it
Oh
bugs me.
yeah.
Not that anybody outside is gonna know; they're gonna have no idea, but I'm gonna know, and that's what.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, MTV conditioned a whole generation, to expect changes on the beat. When they actually played music videos, that's what happened. We kind of all got kind of conditioned. Let's, change the visual on the beat.
Yeah.
And so, we're conditioned that way.
Yeah.
At least us older people are. For those of you who don't know that MTV actually played music videos
24 hours a day.
when they first came out. They actually played. They were like Vivo, only on TV. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would put it. In the barracks, I would put the break room TV or the lounge TV on MTV as I was. It was my week to clean the barracks and stuff, whatever. But yeah, I would play it. Of course, this is back in the early '90s, and I would have MTV on while I'm vacuuming and doing the hallway or whatever. So, oh yeah, loved it back in the day.
Awesome.
I haven't watched it in probably 15, 20 years. Yeah, probably close.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy times.
Then it became VH1 only played music, and then you had to watch VH1 at that point.
Yep.
Because MTV gave us reality programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was crazy. Anyway, crazy time.
All right. Well,
Brian, that's what we got going on, buddy.
that is super awesome. So that sounds great. And ever since I saw you guys had the new layout, I'm like, oh, I got to go in and talk to those guys again and stuff. And then when, of course, you're just living right down the road from St. Louis, I'm like, oh, it's a perfect opportunity. So a little adapt and overcome. And we wanted to get you in and get you talking about that, or I did anyways. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
but I got a whole lot of check marks, so I've already taken care of. Oh, you know what? Keith is going to have to throw the commercial in, but don't forget about Zazzle. Go to Zazzle.com. I think it's trierswag.com to pick up our stuff. Keith will throw the commercial in for us. So
That's awesome.
Very good.
I want to know this, Michael.
you guys, you guys have anything in closing?
No, we just wish that that everybody stay safe.
Yes.
Take whatever precautions they deem necessary to protect themselves, their loved ones.
Yes.
I think it's great the people that are putting up their lights. We're going to try to get something on our roof tonight because I never took down our roof.
Wow.
Just a real simple message, no music, just
Red,
hope,
white, and blue.
just hope and faith.
Yeah.
Those are that's the message I want to get across. And everybody needs to realize these are goofy times for all of us. We've never been through this before.
Trying times.
Yeah. So just be kind to your fellow humans. Be safe.
Yes.
You know, it won't be long. You know, they say, you know, I thought about this today, Brian. You know, they said because we're trying to slow the curve and spread it out, that it could be until we develop a viable vaccine, you know, a working vaccine before we have to, you know, end some of these precautions. You know, our Christmas shows may be some of the only out of home entertainment that people can go to,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, when we come to Christmas time.
Exactly.
And, you know, hopefully it's not that way. I mean, I love going to the movies, but, you know,
We get it
that's going to
free,
be,
but yeah.
that's going to be a long time coming before we can do that again. But,
You know,
our shows are something that's a safe entertainment for people.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
really a cool role that we can play.
you know, and I just put it on my Lights on the High Plains page, the Facebook page, you know, that, you know, because I've been contacted either through PM or text message, you know, or on my personal Facebook page, you know, are you going to put your lights out like other people throughout the country are, you know, and I still have, you know, I still have the stuff on the porch. I still have stuff on the front of the garage. My problem is I don't have controllers to run them because I've already taken my controllers apart to add more power.
Gotcha.
Because I'm
Yeah.
spreading everything out. I'm changing everything up for next year. So I've already taken everything
Yeah.
apart and I'm getting ready to build new controllers. And matter of fact, I just got my email right after I sent that out that all my new smart controllers are coming. So I just got that email yesterday evening after I had already put that on my page. So I might try to get a couple of those. I already got the 48. I got the power supply for it. I just got to get it in a box. I already have the box from Ken. So I might go ahead and maybe just run an F48 with the stuff that I have on my garage. I don't have my house outline on the top of it. You know, I already took that down when there was one day we didn't have wind. So I took advantage of it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's been
Crazy.
windy as heck. It's been 86 miles an hour we had here month and a half ago. Mega trees are still good. They were, I had everything out in the yard.
Engineering.
Yeah,
You
great
know,
engineering.
and I'm not going to say anything, but one of them is a round pole that's a fence top rail that's only 1.5 inches diameter, and it didn't move. I need to do a video on that before I tear it down.
How many guy wires?
3.
Just 3?
Wow,
Just 3.
that's awesome.
Just
So
3. That's good.
And then the other one is the rugged pole, and you know we all know those stay straight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean, the house. I don't want to say the house was shaking, but it really felt like, you know, it's just going crazy out there, which it was. My neighbor, they had just built a kind of a lean-to barn for their horses for the winter. What? Oh, stop touching that face. You're home. You're safe. And it blew down. It was out in the front of their yard, and it used to be in the back.
Wow.
You know, and I just,
That's
man,
great.
I'm sitting there and I'm watching that, you know, little 1.5 inch diameter round pole that, you know, I got it in 3 sections, but you know, I over-engineered the crap out of it. And I love my parachute cord because there's a proper way to tie parachute cord. And it's up and stable, and I'm getting ready to take it down. Hopefully it's going to be nice here this week. I can get the rest of everything down. But unless I do switch and decide to go ahead and light up some stuff. So.
Well, the roof is the only thing I have left up there. It's always the last thing I put up and the last thing I take down just because I hate getting up there. And I told Diana, you know, the advantage of me putting it up last in the fall is that if I fall off the roof and die, she can at least have a show. She won't have the roof, but the rest of it's up.
Oh my.
Terrible.
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
That's what I'll actually have to hire one of you guys, someone to come to Missouri. And because I don't have a clue on how to. Really, I'm serious.
Oh,
I actually got it.
But so it paid off. It paid off being very slow getting the roof down this year. I'll be able to do something with it. I got to plug in a Cat 5 and an electrical cord, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And I'll see what I can do.
Oh, heck yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So
yeah,
I got a bunch of those pixel testers. I guess I could do that. I got like probably 8 or 10 of them that I get from Hanson Electronics.
Yeah.
I can run that out of one power supply and just kind of daisy chain a few until it runs out of power, I guess. Worst case scenario. So,
That's awesome.
but no, I would
Well,
like
we
to
had
get.
fun today, buddy.
What's that?
I said we had fun today.
It was
buddy.
great. Thank
Oh,
you
you still
so
broke up. You're looking away. I didn't
I'm
hear
sorry. Yeah, I know. I said we had fun today.
much. This
you.
was
Oh, heck
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I made you say that 3 times.
No, that's all right. Good.
We had fun today.
At least it wasn't Beetlejuice.
All righty. Well, thank you guys. Oh, I almost said, oh my gosh, I forgot to hit record, but no, we are. So whew, that was
No,
close.
it told me we were recording. So.
Thank God. I was just like, man, I don't remember ever hitting it, but that's my old age coming out, I guess. All right. Well, thanks,
Yeah, hey,
guys.
we're the
Thanks.
same age.
Oh,
We're the same age.
oh, you're like 10 years younger than me. You stop it.
You're so funny. But yeah, sorry, I had to say that.
All right. Well, hang out all in this, and you guys want to say goodbye?
Yes.
Goodbye, everybody. Be
Thank
safe.
you for
Oh.
having us. Be safe. Thank you.
Showstoppersequences.com. Go there, check out the. Oh, it's not up quite yet. Look at. And hey, where did you get those shirts made at? Those are really nice.
We had them made on Zazzle.
Zazzle.com?
Yes, we did. They're very nice. They're very
Yeah,
nice t-shirts.
Yeah. See our symbol?
That is
We laid that out.
awesome.
Yeah.
That-
Pixel.
So cool. And those are S's. That's not a 45
That's right.
insert to a
The little
33.
S's. Yeah.
Little S's.
I learned that the last podcast that we had. It's not an insert for the records.
No, but the same design. Same design.
Yeah, very cool.
That's funny.
All right.
All right,
Well,
Brian, be
thank you
safe,
guys.
buddy.
Have a good day.